Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Well, we did it. We survived Christmas 2017. Good morning. This is John Frenaye. It is Tuesday, December 26th, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. A tragic accident on Christmas Eve sent 10 people to area hospitals. At about 5:30 p.m., police responded to Deal Churchton Road near Franklin Manor Road in Churchton, where they found a Volkswagen Golf had been driving in excess of the speed limit northbound on Deal Churchton Road. It drifted across the center line, sideswiped a navigator before striking a pickup truck head-on in the southbound lane. The driver of the Volkswagen was taken to shock trauma with life-threatening conditions, and 9 others were taken to area hospitals with minor injuries. Police have said that the primary cause of the accident was the driver failing to remain right of center, and alcohol and speed and a wet roadway all are suspected to have been contributing factors. Moving on from the tragic to the wonderful. 'Twas the morning before Christmas, and Santa loaded his sleigh with delicious food from Blackwall Hitch in Annapolis. And this is a 3-year tradition for the Blackwall Hitch, and the staff gets together and delivers holiday meals on Christmas Eve to local families in need. Executive Chef Jonathan Senegan and Chef Matt Roller prepared a menu of turkey, cranberry jam, salad, rolls, mac and cheese, and they delivered for 24 people living in Eastport households. What a great way to bring the community together. Another great way to bring the community together would be with $10,000 in $100 bills. The Severna Park United Methodist Church did just that. They had an anonymous donor gave $10,000 in the form of crisp $100 bills, and they were distributed to 100 parishioners who were told to go out and do an intentional act of kindness. The anonymous donor said that right after the Charlottesville riots, they were driving to work, listening to the radio, and discouraged about the country, stopped at a Starbucks, and on impulse got a gift card and told the cashier to use the gift card until it was gone. So, since the first Sunday of Advent, when the $100 bills were distributed in worship, it's been a flurry of stories. Some of the deeds that have been accomplished have been providing local children with winter coats, giving a refugee a cell phone to connect with family, tipping a waiter generously, or paying for a struggling family's groceries. One parishioner who preferred to go unnamed threw a pizza party for a sizable group of homeless in Baltimore. While breaking bread with the group, he was struck by a remark from a guest who said, "Most folks just drop the food off. Rarely do they stick around to share a meal." Well done, Severna Park United Methodist Church. Well done indeed. Let's keep it on the upbeat, responding to a call to help fellow students. Approximately 1,400 miles away, Anne Arundel County Public Schools community has raised more than $45,000 in cash and supplies for the hurricane-ravaged Houston Independent School District. The Help Houston campaign throughout the month of September brought in more than $39,000 from students, staff, parents, and community and business partners. In addition, the school's Division of Food and Nutrition Services donated nearly $6,000 in kitchen supplies. One school district reaching out to the other one. What a great idea. On Saturday, the Ravens held on to their playoff spot with a 23-16 win over Indianapolis. Indianapolis were mounting a game-winning drive with less than 2 minutes left, but Baltimore's defense was able to hold them on the 4th down. In order for the Ravens to make the playoffs, they simply need to win next weekend against the Cincinnati Bengals on New Year's Eve. However, they would miss the postseason if they lose to the Bengals and the Bills and Titans both win. Speaking of New Year's Eve football, the NFL had a little bit of a move. The kickoff for Sunday's regular season finale for the Ravens has been moved from 1 p.m. to 4:25. The NFL announced that there will be no Sunday night game on New Year's Eve, and their reasoning is because they want to, quote, ensure matchups with playoff implications that impact each other are played at the same time on the final week of the season. Realistically, I think it's that they didn't realize that they scheduled a Sunday night football game on New Year's Eve. That's it for the news. Stick around. We've got George Young with DMV Weather. He has your Military Bowl forecast, and I think he's probably got a little bit of New Year's Eve forecast in there. When we started the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, we weren't really sure how it would be received. Well, It went better than expected, and currently we have about 11,000 people listening to the Daily News Brief every month. And we also got some feedback. And we will be making a significant change on January 1st. We heard you loud and clear that this needs to be done earlier in the day. So on January 1st, you will be able to get your daily news brief at 7 a.m. every Monday through Friday. And we still will have your local weather from DMV Weather and local sports by Kevin Chaney, so nothing else is changing except for the hour. And for those that are listening but have not yet subscribed, the easiest thing to do is to head over to Apple Podcasts, which used to be called iTunes, Google Play, or whatever app you use to listen to podcasts. Search for Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief and subscribe. It's free, there's no cost, and then you never need to worry about it again. Every morning at 7 a.m., it'll be on your phone, tablet, or computer just waiting for you. Hey, thank you for a great start, and here's to a fantastic 2018.
Did you know that more than 1,200 mental health patients had to be transferred last year by AAMC to facilities outside our area because these facilities do not exist right here in our own area? Denim and Diamonds is a fabulous, fun evening under the stars to support expanding mental health care in our community. AAMC Foundation proudly thanks RxNT for their generous $50,000 exclusive presenting sponsorship. Get more info at AAMCDenimandDiamonds.org.
This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George from DMV Weather with your Annapolis forecast for Tuesday, December 26th. In a word, for the next several days and beyond, cold. We forecasted a target high temp of 35 degrees for today for downtown Annapolis and 33 degrees for BWI Airport. And while we expect tomorrow to be fairly similar with highs in the low 30s, we will enter a very cold period on Thursday with highs only 25 to 30 degrees for the Military Bowl here in Annapolis between Navy and Virginia. And from Thursday into at least next Monday, we expect highs only to be in the upper 20s to possibly lower 30s if we're lucky, with nighttime lows of 15 to 25 every night. As for those snow chances we talked about last week, we're still closely watching for a possible storm this Friday or Saturday, and even looking at a couple of additional threats into the first part of January, so stay tuned as we close the books on 2017 over the next several days. Be sure to download our free weather app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store on all of your devices by searching for DCMDVA Weather, and follow us on our website at dmvweather.com or on Twitter or Facebook. This is George Young of DMV Weather with your Annapolis forecast. Stay warm out there, and remember, whatever the weather outside, have fun and be safe.
Hey there, this is John Fernay, and the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief is sponsored by, well, it could be you. Podcasting is a growing trend, and since launching on September 1st, we have more than 10,000 downloads of this podcast, plus thousands of listens on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. In addition to our Facebook page, All Annapolis, and our Twitter account, we distribute the Daily News Brief to Apple Podcasts, which used to be called iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and the TuneIn app that can be played on your Amazon Echo or Google Home device. We focus on local news, local weather, local events, and local sports, including high school and college. So our audience is pretty tightly targeted to the greater Annapolis area. And if you own or manage a local business, you're a likely customer. Intrigued? Well, here's something to think about. Your company could be featured on this daily podcast for less than $20 a day. Interested? Shoot me an email and let's talk. My email address is john@eyeonannapolis.net, and that's EYEONANNAPOLIS, but you already knew that, .net. Let's get together and see what we can make happen.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at noon. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.